YouTube, another Blu-ray, DVD, and cinema tickets update. Although a lot of the DVDs I'm going to show you today, I actually got a long time ago, but for a number of reasons, I haven't actually managed to uh, include them in an update. Partially due to the video being too long if I did, and filming the video in a different place than where they were stored. But I've got them with me today, so there's going to be a few DVDs. I think I've got 3 DVDs, 4 Blu-rays, and a fairly big amount of cinema tickets. So I'm going to have to work quickly. So let's get started. First DVD that I've got, they're all Cartoon Network DVDs, by the way. First one is The Amazing World of Gumball Season 1, which is a British show, but for some reason we get a bit shafted on DVD front because I don't know, because Warner Brothers are a bit crap in terms of British DVDs and TV series. You get 8 episodes on this, I think, and it says it's a complete season 1, but I don't think it is actually a complete season 1. I think it's like most of season 1, but they miss out a few episodes because they obviously can't bother releasing the full set. There will be more Warner Brothers related complaints to come in a minute, but next DVD is Adventure Time, complete season 1. This is actually the complete season 1. 26 episodes across 3 discs. I think this was released in 2013. You get disc 2 and 3 and disc 1 and leaflet with other stuff on it. Now this is season 2 of Adventure Time, and I've got a few complaints with this set. Notice how it cleverly misses out the phrase complete in season 2. That's because One Home Video in their infinite wisdom decided to just randomly remove to 2 episodes, in fact no 4 episodes. The third disc is missing because it's inside the player, but it is 2 and 1, and yeah, it's missing 4 episodes completely, so it's not a complete series. I don't know why. There's a few people theorising that those are the most violent episodes of the season, so maybe they didn't want to risk getting a 12, but I don't understand why, because the early pack shots of this and the first season actually had 12 ratings on the cover, but then they came out in a PG. I don't think the episodes that were removed would actually get a 12 in the first place, so maybe they were just being stupid. So yeah, that's a bit disappointing. So now we're on to the Blu-rays, and the first Blu-ray is an Adventure Time one. It's season 4 because I couldn't actually find season 3 for a very good price. They're all really expensive, so you got season 4, and I got this for a pretty good price because it's an American import. This is a region A. It's actually region 3, but it's released in America. One Home Video release again, but actually this is a Madman Entertainment disc from Australia. They mastered it, it's got their logo and the Australian one and stuff at the beginning, so One Home Video obviously couldn't be bothered actually mastering their own disc. You get a nice cut out slipcase, and the stuff inside it's very nicely designed. I think the other season box sets actually formed of a similar design with different characters. You get some leaflets about apps and stuff and digital Violet code. I actually gave that away on Tumblr because it doesn't work on the UK Ultraviolet account. I'm not actually sure whether the guy even used it because he never actually messaged me back, so that's a bit annoying. Well, yeah, moving on to the more Blu-rays. The second one is Porco Rosso, which is a Studio Ghibli film, released by Studio Canal. I actually got this for really cheap. I was really lucky to find this for a £5, when most Studio Canal Ghibli releases are really fucking expensive, like 20-25 quid per film. So I was very lucky to get this so cheap. It's not one of the best Ghibli films, but it is really good still. And you get a DVD and a Blu-ray with it, and the Blu-ray quality is really good. So I would definitely recommend checking that out if you've not seen it. And although again, most places that sell the Blu-ray selling it for a ridiculous price, I think you can get DVD cheap though. Next Blu-ray is another Studio Ghibli film, Pom Poko, which is one of my favourites. Really love this film, and it's really underrated, and it's also not focusing because the camera's shit. But again, this is a Studio Canal release. Will my camera decide to focus on it? Maybe I tap the screen it will. No, it's not doing it. But yeah, this is a really good film, and again you get the DVD and the Blu-ray with it. I got this for slightly more expensive. I paid £10 for this, but the film's worth £10, and again the Blu-ray quality is fantastic. The final Blu-ray is Blackfish, which is a really good documentary. It released by Dogwolf, who specialise in documentaries. They also released Dinosaur 13, which is one of my favourite films of last year. If you haven't seen this, it's very depressing and so heartbreaking, but it is definitely a must-watch if you're interested in sort of animals. It's rated E, which I like. That's one thing that I do like. I like how they deliberately designed the E symbol on Dogwolf DVDs to actually look identical to a U certificate, even though most of the stuff that they release is rated 15 in cinemas, including this. I think this is rated 15. So yeah, it's not a very bright, happy film at all, but it is definitely worth watching. And now we get onto the cinema tickets. I'm going to try and rush through these because I'm already sort of running over the amount of time I wanted to on Blu-rays. First film is Paddington, which is actually the highest grossing Studio Canal film ever released. And for good reason. It's really good film, much better than I was expecting, and definitely one of the best family, in fact probably the best family film in fact no, I can't say that. It's definitely one of the best family films of last year. It's still in cinemas now, obviously it's absolutely massive in the UK box office, so if you haven't seen it then you can definitely go and see it now. Next up we have Dumb and Dumber 2, sequel to one of my favourite in fact not probably the favourite comedy film of all time in my opinion. So it was never going to really live up to my expectations, but it was still really funny. Definitely better than the shite that they came out with in like 2003 or whenever it was, the prequel. Next one is Birdman. I thought this was a bit overrated, but definitely worth watching. It's directed by Alejandro González Iñárritu, who directed Amores Perros, which is one of my favourite films. This one isn't anywhere near as good as that, but it's definitely worth the watch. It's very well made. The thing that they do with the camera, where it's all meant to be one shot, is really cool, and the performances are all good. So yeah, if that's still showing, I think it is still showing in a lot of cinemas, then check it out if you can. The next one is Wild with Reese Witherspoon. I thought this was really good. I didn't actually know what it was about before I went in, but it's definitely a film. I think it's out of cinemas now because I don't think it did very well, but that's definitely good. Next one is The Theory of Everything, a Stephen Hawking film with Eddie Redmayne, who delivers one of the finest film performances ever, in my opinion, at least in the past decade or so, and definitely deserves to win the Best Actor Oscar. And unfortunately, his recent role in Jupiter Ascending sort of makes it null and void because he looks absolutely shite in that. But his performance in this is brilliant, and all the rest of the performances and the way it's made is all really good. If you haven't seen it, then definitely give it a watch. Next one is The Hobbit, The Battle of the Five Armies, long-awaited final chapter, and it's definitely probably overall the best of the Hobbit films. It's still not anywhere near as good as Lord of the Rings, but definitely worth a watch. Next is American Sniper, the propaganda film that's causing controversy all over the internet. It's very well made. Performances are great, and it's just well directed. It's got very questionable politics, of course, but if you're just watching it as a film, then it's definitely worth a watch. Next up is a film that really surprised me, one of my favourites of the year so far, Ex Machina, which is a sci-fi film, British sci-fi film, very low budget, but it's really interesting plot. The way it's done is really great. The way it's filmed, all the cinematography and that is fantastic. If you haven't seen it, it's still in cinemas now. Definitely, absolutely recommended. Next one is Into the Woods, which hilariously all the people in my screen walked out on it before the end of the film, leaving just me because none of them realised it was going to be a musical. But yeah, it is a musical, and as musicals go, it's pretty good. Music's all decent, and it's a long. In fact, it is a long film. That's the main complaint I had with it. It's way too fucking long, but it is definitely worth watching. Meryl Streep is absolutely fucking fantastic in it. Next one is Key. I don't know why I printed it out like that, but I wrote the full name of the thing there. Kingsman: The Secret Service. If you haven't seen this, then get down to the cinema. Absolutely watch it right now because it's one of the most fun films I've ever seen in the cinema. It's just pure action comedy, fun as hell. I don't really want to give away any spoilers, but there's a scene inside the church which is one of the best action sequences in any film I've ever seen. I'm probably going to actually see this again on Monday with some of my mates, so I'm definitely looking forward to seeing it again, definitely, and it's probably going to stick on because it has done really well in the box office, so absolutely see that. Next film is Foxcatcher, which it's very very good overall, but the most of the film is just characters staring at each other and not actually saying anything, because it sort of draws the line between dramatic pauses and just seeming like the actors forget the lines. About half the film is just dramatic pauses, so if you've got patience, then it's a really good film, but it's really really hard to stick with. But overall, I would recommend it. Next up is Big Hero 6 3D. I was the only person on the screen watching this, so it was a good experience. And as far as Disney films go, it's very, very good. It's not as good as Wreck-It Ralph, I don't think, but I'd probably put it above Frozen. It's been out in the US for a while, so you probably I think it's actually out on Blu-ray in the US now, so you might as well import it really. Next one is Whiplash. Really, really good film. I was a bit disappointed it wasn't shown in my local cinema, so I had to wait a few weeks to see it, so I went back to uni. But if you haven't seen this, absolutely brilliant performances all around. It's really, really gripping. It's not. It doesn't overstay its welcome. It's not a very long film. It's only about 100 minutes, I think. So if you haven't seen it, then check it out. It's got a very, very scary performance from J.K. Simmons that stands out particularly. I really hope he. I can't remember who the other nominees are actually, but I really hope he wins some sort of award for it. Next up is Shaun the Sheep movie, Aardman film. So you sort of expect it to be great, and of course it is absolutely fantastic. Really, really fun film, like I said. I've put my own pun down in the corner because I'm just that much of a fun comedian. But if you just want a fun-filled sort of comedy film, then you cannot go wrong with this. There's got no dialogue in the entire film, so it's a bit like The Artist really, except with more plasticine. But you've probably seen the TV series, it's massively popular, and this is, if you enjoy the TV series, you're going to absolutely love the film. It's absolutely, I'd highly recommend it, really. And moving into slightly more depressing territory, last film that I've seen, just today actually, is Selma, about Martin Luther King Jr. It's a really, really good film, probably, in terms of production stuff and performances, probably the best film I've seen this year. But obviously it's it's not a happy film at all. It's really, really hard going, and it's not a film, it's a really, really good film, but not one I'd ever probably watch again, if you get me drift. So I would definitely recommend it, definitely watch it, but don't expect it to be a film that you'd rewatch, really. And that's the lot, so see you next time. By the way, just as a little addendum to the film, my 2015 film challenge is still going on very, very well. As you can see, I've got cinema. I'm up to this film. Can't even find me which mouse cursor gone. There it is. I'm up to film 41. I was Selma today. I've seen a lot of films at home as well. I've got reviews for all these films on my Tumblr blog, which I'll give that to you again. It's moffat-may-and-more.tumblr.com/tagged/dance film challenge. I will post a link in the description, so if you want to read film reviews of all the films that I've seen, including the ones I've just shown you in cinema tickets, then definitely go to that. So that's just a little add-on there, so check that out.